All right, in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys how to set up your GitHub repos for H343. You guys actually made them during lab today, but I realized there was actually an error in how I explained it, so you guys would have had to deal with a lot of merging conflicts. And so what I did was I went ahead and I deleted all of your repos from GitHub, recreated them, and then signed them back to you guys. Before you guys move on with the rest of this video, make sure you followed all the rules I mentioned in the Canvas announcement, or all the steps I mentioned, because it's really imperative that you actually do all of those before you move on with the rest of the video. Once you've done that, go to github.iu.edu and then go to the H343 organization. You can find that by clicking on your username in the top left. Go. And make sure that you have a submission repo for yourself. So mine is here. Open that in a new tab and make sure that it is completely empty. There shouldn't be anything in it, not even a README. We're going to keep this and we're going to use it later on, but for the time being, let's go back to here and pull up the distribution. Go. And what we're going to do is make sure you're on the distribution page and click clone or download and copy this link here. Make sure it says clone with HTTPS. If you've set up SSH already, then you can use SSH, but for most of you, I'm going to assume that you haven't done that yet, so make sure you use HTTPS. Copy that in. And we're going to open up a terminal. If you're on Mac OS or Linux, you can use a terminal. If you're on Windows, use git bash. And first one, we want to figure out where we want to put our repo. I'm going to create a directory in my documents folder. CD documents. Actually, I'll go. And I'm going to make their H343 fall 2020. And I'm going to CD into that. Yeah, I'm in my H343 folder now. And then do git clone and put in the link that we just copied. So if you do ls now, you should see that it says distribution here. This is not your submission repo, it's the distribution one. You're going to CD into distribution. If you ls now, you can see there's a README in here. If I do git remote v, you should see that we have a remote called origin and it links to distribution. We're going to rename that to distribution. So do git remote rename. We're going to rename the origin remote and we're going to rename it to distribution. Okay, so now if I do git remote v this time, you can see it as relabeled distribution. All right, now we're going to go back to the web page and go to your submission repo this time. And it's the one that's completely empty. You're going to copy this link right here. It should be an HTTPS link, once again, unless you've set up SSH. Copy that in and go back to your terminal. And we're going to do git remote add submission. So this is going to be the name of a remote and then the link to our remote right there. So it should look something like that. If I do git remote v this time, you should see it says distribution and submission. Now, we're going to update your submission to look like the distribution repo now. So we're going to do git push submission master. Push it through. It may prompt you for your IU username and password, so make sure that in. Now, if we go back to the web browser here and we refresh the submission repo, you should see that it has a README, and the README should match what's in the distribution. This is important. If you don't see this, then make sure you just contact me and make sure you get that fixed up. All right, so that is all you need to do for this. If I go back here, you can rename the folder itself on your local machine. So right now it says distribution. If you don't like that, you can rename it to, let's see, this. Rename it to, let's say, you can call it your submission if you really want to. I just want to make sure that when you clone the folder, it's cloned as the distribution first, and then you add your submission as a remote, not the other way around, which is why I messed up in class. Okay. And so I think that is it for this. Yeah, that should be it. If you guys have any problems, just make sure to contact me either to Discord or through my email. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible.